So, can you tell us your name?
It's Frances Cafola.
And this is a story about your child?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to go right back and tell us what you were thinking vaccine-wise when you were pregnant?
I hadn't really given much thought to vaccines because Marco was our second child. Our daughter had all her vaccines. She was fine, so I didn't think anything of vaccines at all. I didn't know of any dangers. Marco was born in August 1994.
I'm going to have to go a bit closer to you because they're making so much noise that I can't hear.
Marco was born in August 1994. He was a healthy child, £6, £8.9. He started walking when he was 10 months and 23 days old. He was fine. He had his 1 year assessment. He had his 1 year assessment with the health visitors, and I still have the notes. It says very active social child, can say between 10 and 15 words like mum, dad, cat, dog. No parental concerns. This was in August. In November, Marco had a febrile convulsion.
And was that following a vaccine?
No, this was on the Saturday before the vaccine.
Okay.
He ended up in York Hill overnight. He came home. I found out a few years later that it was actually tonsillitis, but I don't remember them telling us that at the time. He came home with antibiotics, finished them on the Wednesday, had his vaccination on the Thursday.
No, wait. So he had a convulsion and antibiotics. And did the doctor at any point think that was not okay?
Not a single word was said to me and my husband.
And which vaccine did they give?
MMR. Then Marco just screamed for 24 hours afterwards. We couldn't calm him. He was running a temperature. They phoned the doctors. They said to just give him a cool bath and fan him dry. Give him Calpol. My mum came to see us on the Sunday. This was the Thursday. My mum came to see us on the Sunday. Now Marco was a right nana's boy. And the first thing my mum says was, "What's wrong with Marco?" He was screaming. He wouldn't let anybody near him. He'd stopped eating. He'd stopped talking. He'd withdrawn into himself. He just screamed every time anybody came near him. And this continued. We eventually, around about January, February time, got the health visitor out again. Again, I've got his notes, and it says that child babbling, parental concerns, and then just after it she says, "I just think you're just being an over-anxious mother."
You say what?
She says, "I think you're just being an over-anxious mother."
An over-anxious mother?
Yes. So to go from 10 to 15 words to babbling within 3 months, and it just went from there. And when he was 9, the bowel problems started. 8 or 9, the bowel problems started.
Bowel problems?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Just pain when he was going to the toilet, screaming, and that was quite delayed.
So you went back and said to the doctor, this is what happens after the MMR. Did anybody acknowledge it? Stupid question, that's got to be asked.
Well, at that time we didn't know that there was a connection with MMR. I certainly didn't. My husband didn't realise that there was concerns about the MMR and the connection. So, we told him that he had his vaccine and he was burning up, he was screaming, and we were just told to give him Calpol, basically.
So when did you realise it was the vaccine?
Well, it was about the November the following year, I think it was. Because Marco then stopped talking. It wasn't. It was a couple of years later. I'm trying to get my times right. His vaccine 1995. My son was born. My second son was born in May 97, and it was in November 97. We finally managed to get Marco into a nursery because he's still at that age, at 3 years old, hadn't started speaking again. And I'd been in hospital and I just came out and I got a phone call from the nursery. Can you come and get Marco? He's screaming, he's sitting in a corner and he's screaming, he won't, you were just really concerned. And I drove along and I went in and she says to her, have you ever, I'd like to get somebody out to see Marco. I says, why? She says, because we think he might have autism. And that was the first time I remember hearing the word autism, but apparently my husband and my brother-in-law had said to me a few times before, I think I'd just shut this, because I remember watching the show about autism when I was a wee girl, and I thought, oh, I'd hate that, I'd hate to have a child with autism, and I think that's why it sort of just shut down on me. But he was diagnosed in April 1998 when he was 3.5.
And what's a day like for him? What are those vaccines taken away from him? What's his life like now?
He thinks his life's worthless. He doesn't. He has, don't get me wrong, he can speak. He is quite high functioning now. When we were 12, we were told Mark would never lead an independent life. He went to special needs school. We were told he would never lead an independent life and he'd never take any exams. And he left school with 4 standard grades and 2 highs, and he's now just like 3rd year at university. So in a way it's good for considering what he's been through, but it's been one hell of a struggle. He's hard work. He needs constant looking after, he needs constantly told, Marco wash, Marco brush your teeth, Marco change your clothes, change your underwear, Marco eat, Marco go to bed, Marco go in a shower. It's just constant. And he's got 3 wee brothers, and with Marco it's just constant. It's constant.
What about his future? What are your concerns?
My concerns is he's now in a depression at the moment and he's not doing as well at uni as we'd like him to do or he'd like to do, and our concern is that he won't complete the course and there's no way Mark will be able to. His social and interaction is non-existent. I don't think he'll be able to find a job if he doesn't complete this course. It's so hard for him.
Would you ever give any of your children or yourselves a vaccine again?
No. My 3 younger. He's got 3 wee brothers and none of them have been MMR. My daughter had it, Marco had it, 3 wee ones haven't. 3 wee ones, I think, well, 3 ones, he's 6'5", he's at university, and then I've got a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old and they're all perfectly fine.
I know that your child and my child were affected by the MMR because in Britain, children of our age group just had the MMR. But since I've been travelling around, I have to tell you that it's every vaccine at any age that can cause a severe injury. So just make sure, because I've only been woken up since I've been travelling around America. So just know that.
They've never, luckily touched wood, never had any adverse reaction to any other vaccine that we know of. Well,
my advice to you is to stay away.
Yeah.
If you see the injuries that I've seen on the road of America, you would not want any of that stuff going anywhere near you or your kids again.
Well, when Rocco, who's now almost 14, when he went for his, I think it was a polio booster when he started in primary school, I think it was, I was saying to Caroline earlier, it was one of his vaccines and he got it, and then I had to go back to the doctors a few months later for something. No, I think it was when the younger one was starting, he was to go for his, and the health visitor said to me, well, Rocco's not at this one. I says, Rocco has had this one. No, he hasn't. There's nothing on my notes to say he's had this vaccine. I says, well, he's not getting it because I know for a fact he's had it, and she investigated it and he had it and they were about to double dose him. So
unless your child's really sick and has to, stay away from these people.
Yeah.
They make endless mistakes and then you're on your own when they've made mistakes.
Yeah, I know exactly. We learned from Marco and we'll never make that mistake again.
Sorry. Well, we're part of the same united club of being lied to.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell people?
Just listen to your instincts. Just listen to what the body, what your mind tells you. If you think it's not right, just go with your gut feeling.